Tuesday night's Carabao Cup tie between Wolves and West Ham United will be played between two teams who are currently the worst in the Premier League right now. We are bottom, and Wolves are just above us purely on goal difference. Both teams have 0 points, and after two games, have collectively conceded 13 goals between the two clubs. So, do both managers welcome this game on Tuesday night? I would like to think so. It's a chance to draw some breath, a bit of respite from the poor start that each team has made in the Premier League campaign this season. And both managers can focus on the hope that a win might be able to be the catalyst to not only a potential long cup run, which seems quite far away at this moment in time, but a win could also give some positivity and hope to help kickstart our Premier League season. A win on Tuesday night will give West Ham a massive confidence boost. But then a win for Wolves on Tuesday night could do exactly the same for them. But is it a welcome or an unwelcome distraction? And how much effort will both managers give to this competition, given the situation they're in the Premier League so far? Now, there's some people suggesting, come on, it's only two games in. Surely, there's plenty of time to get things right in the Premier League. And of course there are. But if you're seeing some green shoots of something that's worth hanging on to, then fair play. But when you're not, then it's another matter altogether. Now, look, for West Ham, first half against Sunderland, we were in control. And then we collapsed because we forgot how to defend. The first 10 minutes of the game against Chelsea on Friday night, okay. And then we forgot how to defend for the last 80 minutes of that game. And everything is from set pieces, crosses. How many goals did Chelsea score that were inside the 6-yard box? 3 or 4 of them? Anyway, to be honest with you, in all honesty, I see this game on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup as a really crucial game for West Ham, and probably Wolves will be thinking the same. Now, not only would it be a morale booster, and it will help Graham Potter, it will help Graham Potter to sort of like, maybe have some fresh impetus into our season, but it will also give Graham Potter a chance to field a number of players who have seen little or no game time in the Premier League so far. Now, Wolves in pre-season, they lost, or during the transfer window, I should say, lost 2 of their best players in Matthias Cunha, who left for Man United for a £7 million deal, and left back Ryan Nouri, who went to Man City in a £35 million deal. In return, they have made last season's loan signing, Jorgen Strand Larsen, a permanent move, as well as signing players like 21-year-old Fer Lopez. Let me put this. There you go. Fer Lopez from Celta Vigo, cost them £20 million, give or take, as well as John Arias, who was linked to West Ham, the 27-year-old attacking player from Brazilian club Fluminense. He signed for them for about £15 million. West Ham at this moment in time have the worst goal average, 8 conceded and scoring just the 1, whereas Wolves have conceded 5 without reply. Now, given Tuesday night's game has to have a result, might we see this as a high-scoring game, given how open our respective defences are? There are a lot of similarities between the two teams. Wolves manager Vitor Pereira and Graham Potter favour the 3-5-2, 5-3-2 system, or the 5-3-1-1 system. Now, this system is meant to provide width when attacking and defensive reinforcements when defending. But by the number of goals that both teams have conceded so far, you can see that this hasn't worked out quite so well. For each manager in their last game, they made just one change to their previous starting lineup at the first game of the season. Pereira replaced João Gomez with midfielder John Arias in the game against Bournemouth. Whereas, as we know, Graham Potter replaced Rodriguez with Souček in our second game against Chelsea. Neither had the desired effect. Both teams lapsed concentration in midfield. They've got no drive in midfield, and we can't defend, as I've already said. We can't control the tempo of a game. So what do I expect from both managers? What will they do on Tuesday night? Well, I'm expecting to see wholesale changes. I'm expecting both managers to replace virtually their whole team. Maybe not, you know. And I'm thinking that in our starting lineup, and probably Wolves, we'll see a lot of faces that just simply have not played so far this season or have had very little game time. Now, apart from that, I hope that each manager, well, certainly West Ham, don't care much about Wolves, with the greatest of respect. I'm hoping that the manager, Graham Potter, finds a spark in one or two more of the players that he selects for Tuesday night, which might elevate these players to be in the starting lineup for our next Premier League game. Wolves are going to host Everton next Saturday, and West Ham visit Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Both teams, Everton and Forest, doing marginally better than we are. I think Everton won 2-0 today, or that was Sunday, should I say. Now, I can't tell you who Pereira is going to be picking on Tuesday night, but I would hazard a guess. Sam Johnson might start in goal, and with Captain Totti having been sent off against Bournemouth in their 1-0 defeat, the likes of centre-back Yorson Mosquero might be drafted in, and attacking midfielder Tawanda Chirewa might also get a start as well. And up front, maybe Fair Lopez will play, or maybe Hisham Wang or Sasa Kalajnik might lead the line. As for West Ham, I'm expecting, as I said, to see virtually every player replaced. I think Potter will change the formation as well. I think Alphonse Areola has now got a chance to demonstrate and fight for his place to be the number one keeper. Can't be much worse at the moment, can it? I believe Carl Walker-Peters and Ollie Skulls are likely to start on each flank. And I think Dinos is likely to play alongside Max Kilman in a back four. Now, Potter may decide to play the three in midfield and the three up front, or he may go with a 4-2-3-1 formation. And that means there's a likely chance that Freddie Potts will actually start his first game alongside, I don't know. I'm going for Rodriguez, not that I want to. I would have selected Irving, but it looks like even Irving is about to leave, and apparently we've accepted a bid in for him, so he could be on his way soon as well. And in midfield, we may see a first senior start for academy player Lewis Orford. And then the front three. I think it will consist of Bowen. He, alongside Kilman, will be the only ones probably keeping their places from the game against Chelsea. And then there could be a surprise start for the likes of Callum Marshall to play to support Callum Wilson up front. Or we might see a bit of a shock. We might see someone like, I don't know, Maxwell Cornet playing. He's still in the squad. We might even see someone like Emerson playing. He might get a start as well. Or maybe both Cornet and Emerson might be on the bench. Now, look, Graham Potter can throw caution to the wind in this game, much like he did in the first game when he managed West Ham back in January earlier this year when we met Aston Villa in the FA Cup third round. God, where has that energetic performance, that energetic and vibrant performance disappeared to? The excitement back then was real. And we really thought we'd finally landed a manager who could really get the team playing well, using the youth, and what a massive difference he'd make. But he's regressed. He's gone backwards. And I know that the transfer window hasn't helped him, but he has, as many people will point out, he's had 20-odd games between when he took over and now to instill the changes that he wants. But it's been an uphill struggle ever since, which is again why this game is vital for West Ham and for Graham Potter. Apparently, Potter has got 2 games remaining to keep his job. I don't know how true that is. Of course, we heard Karen Brady only last week waxing lyrical about how wonderful a man-manager Graham Potter is, and that we stick by our managers, she said. I wonder if David Sullivan and Karen Brady see eye to eye in that particular comment. Look, Graham Potter can take the shackles off and go for it. He can experiment. He can he can evaluate, whether there is quality in the depth of this squad or not, to give us a glimmer of hope for the remainder of this season. Look, it's a shame, like the likes of Crescencio Somerville and Luis Guilherme are both injured. Otherwise, I think they would have been nailed on starters as well. There's another player, George Earthy, who's now back from injury, who might maybe be given a start instead of Callum Marshall, or he may also be on the bench. So let me recap for you what I think the lineup is likely to be. Areola's going to be in goal. I think we're likely to change our formation and go with a 4-3-3 or a 4-3-2-1. And in that, I think Carl Walker-Peters will start on the right-hand side. I think Kilman will be alongside Kilman and Todibo. Kilman and Dinos will be in the centre. And it's a toss-up between Skulls and Emerson, but I think Skulls will be given the nod. And then the two, I think it's going to be Rodriguez alongside Potts to give him that sort of confidence from an experienced player. And then Bowen, probably Lewis Orford, and then a choice between Callum Marshall or Maxwell Cornet, and then up front, Callum Wilson. That's what I think, so I've only got 2 question marks. I don't think Cornet and Emerson will start. I think it will be Skulls and possibly Marshall. But look how many academy players we'll have in that starting lineup if this materializes. Skulls, Potts, Lewis Orford, and Marshall. Possibly 4 academy players. And then you've got experience on the bench if you need it. With Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Paquetá, Soucek, and so on. Now, I've heard the stories about apparently we're ready to sell Lucas Paquetá if a £60 million bid is made. And I've asked the question, and the reply was we'll have to buy an awful lot of players in order to allow that to happen. So I don't think there's any energy or desire to sell Lucas Paquetá, because I just doubt very much we'll buy a whole load of players in order to replace him. We're already looking to have to replace. We already needed 1 midfielder. Now with Alvarez gone, we need at least 2 midfielders. With Paquetá, if he went, that would be 3 midfielders. I'm not confident for a minute that we would sign 2, let alone 3. And then, of course, we've seen how poor our defense has been. So maybe, just maybe, we're in the market for another central defender as well. Who knows? Or maybe Emerson will be brought back into this squad because at least he's got the experience to help us. Nothing wrong with Diouf. I don't have a problem with him. Why not use Emerson in the same way that Creswell was used in the last couple of years of his stay at West Ham? Put Emerson maybe in a back 3. That might work. Why not? Look, for me, this is a vital game. It means that Graham Potter can go for it. It means he can take the shackles off a little bit. It means he can look at what he's got available in that squad. Can some of these young players deliver, which will just give us a little bit of ease when it comes to who he picks for Premier League games moving forward. I wish I was going. I won't be there, unfortunately, as I won't be for the Nottingham Forest game, and I'm gutted that I'm missing 2 games in this season. But maybe this game has come up the right time for Graham Potter and for the team. If we go out there and get a win, and a convincing win at that, it might just set us up moving forward for what we have to do in the Premier League. It might. Who knows? I'm going, fingers crossed, for a 2-1 win for West Ham United. We've got to put in a performance. It's just got to happen. Do I think we're going to get a long cup run in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup? Of course not. Because if we win this, we'll end up getting Liverpool away, as we usually do, par for the course. But I've got to be confident. There's got to be, I can see there being changes, maybe not as many as I suggested. Maybe there will be a few more experienced players in there rather than only Bowen and Kilman starting from the Chelsea game. Maybe Potter may go for it and bring in more experience. But if he doesn't, there are a number of players in there that can prove to Graham Potter that they are capable of playing in the Premier League. Areola, Carl Walker-Peters, much maligned Dinos Mavropanos, Freddie Potts himself, maybe even Callum Wilson. There's a lot of players that have got a lot to prove. So probably it has come at the right time for West Ham. Fingers crossed that we do what we need to do, get a good win, put in a good performance, and come away with a smile on our faces for once. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're new to the channel, please consider becoming a subscriber of the channel, and I will see you all very, very soon.